We are the restaurant brokers, and we sell restaurants.
We started the nation's largest restaurant brokerage firm over a decade ago.
Atlanta, Georgia was our starting point, but our brand is spreading nationwide. We define restaurant brokerage and help buyers just like these.
Our dream, our goal, open up a restaurant, loving life, serving people breakfast and lunch, and then enjoying the rest of the day with them and ourselves.
Buying an existing restaurant, leasing a closed restaurant space, or purchasing a restaurant franchise. We help buyers satisfy their appetite for acquisition.
I'm part of a husband and wife team with this fella.
Working with my wife has been a lot of fun. The ultimate goal for everybody here is to make this work. And because we have different strengths, we bring different angles to the deal.
The process begins with our powerhouse website, WeSellRestaurants.com, where buyers sign online confidentiality agreements and browse restaurants for sale.
Then we send buyers undercover to check out a restaurant and decide if it's the right one for them.
Buyers get our proprietary business analysis tool with all the financial details on the business for sale.
After studying the restaurant inside and out, it's back to our office.
We're deal makers. We write contracts and negotiate terms for buyers and sellers. That's why we sell more restaurants than any other firm in the nation. We are the restaurant brokers. Our name says it all. That sound means you're back on the air with the restaurant brokers Eric and Robin Gagnon. Today we have been talking to food editors and writers about the hottest trends in food straight from the pages of today's magazines and periodicals. Hey, listen, now it's our time to give you the take on our favorite part of the show, Restaurant Reality. We are going to give you the inside scoop and unbridled truth. So, Eric, what did you think about the trends you heard this day? Are there items in there that our restaurateurs could pick up on and maybe change around their menu?
Robin, if you are hungry for knowledge today, you've got a full serving that should satisfy your hunger, because there was so much information today that you can take back into your restaurant and work on it. I mean, we've learned so much from Sharon, Nina, and Janet. I mean, we've talked about plant-based meal. I mean, this is something that people should look into. I talk about beans, legumes, all that families of things. Vegetables becoming center of the plate.
Well, you know what, really, this is the reality segment, and the reality is that the adoption of these kinds of trends, I'm always seeing it in numbers. So I see quantitatively that a chef, an inspired chef or restaurateur could take some of these ideas, really blow it up as the big idea in the restaurant, make some limited time offerings or specials that are centered on this kind of a lifestyle. And guess what happens to the food cost? It automatically plummets. You talk about food costs in the industry, a heavy meat-based food cost restaurant like a steakhouse may run 32, 34, 35% food cost, whereas somebody that has much more limited in the meats and proteins can run 25, 26, 27. All that extra earnings and that food cost go straight to the bottom line. It's the same sales line number, and you are going to make so much more money. So the reality is, it's not just smart to stay on trend in terms of making sure that you're exposing your customers and their palates to these things that they're going to be asking you for, because you can't sit back and wait, right?
Correct. And another thing that, talk about cost savings, back in the days, people will hire a chef consultant, hire a chef for, $40,000, $50,000 a year, redo their menu 3-4 times a year. And today we've got people that are online, in social media, in different in print magazines and different things that are giving you trends, ideas, recipes, different things that you can go look yourself, educate, train, and make your own menu changes without having to spend thousands of dollars into this. You can look at what people are cooking, because if they're cooking it, like they said, if people have interest in it and you're cooking in your restaurant and it's better than what they do, they'll want to come and try yours and say, oh, look at these interesting things on the menu. I try to cook this. It's in that restaurant. Let's go try it. So automatically you're getting some buzz. You're getting some freshness to it without having to spend thousands of dollars on a consultant and taking weeks and months and everything. I think this is a very, very big change in the industry, because 20 years ago you didn't have that.
Exactly. Well, but the other thing that it does, and I'm just going to reintroduce, because it really forces a restaurateur to be on top of their game. You can't leave your dad's menu out there from 3 generations ago and let it just sit and stagnate, and every now and then throw a fish special on the menu, because that, especially those millennials, they're such high adopters of trends. They're heavy foodies. They're on the next best thing, and they spend a lot of money. They dine out a lot, and they're looking for that next fresh experience. So if you've got a menu that you printed 7 years ago and the only thing you've done is offer up a special since then, you are going to miss how quick the life cycle of these trends come and go. And if you're just getting kale on the menu this year, guess what? That trend's come and gone, and we're out and on to new and fresh and inspired things. So we talk about all the time, get on social media, pay attention to what's happening. If you don't know what Pinterest is, if you don't know what Instagram is, if you aren't reading some of these blogs or really subscribing to some of these magazines and getting yourself immersed in the industry, that trend will already pass you by, and your competitor who's going to open next door is going to be cashing in on the latest and the greatest.
Absolutely. I mean, we've talked about healthy food. People want healthy food, so I got healthy food on my menu. A lot of times these ingredients are very tasteless. So we talk about today about flavor. How you flavor them. You got to work at this and make sure it's taste. Ask your customers to try. If you have very healthy food that is flavorful, I think it will be good on your menu. If you just have a healthy dish on there and just sits there and nobody buys it, you're wasting money. You have this item sitting on your shelf, they're not moving, and it's on your menu occupying space. It's not generating revenues for you. So you really got to start being proactive about tasting, getting outside of their comfort zone. Like Robin said, this is not your grandpa's menu anymore. Try limited time offers. Try sometimes your very important customer says, hey, I made a special dish, would like for you to try it on the house. Give us some feedback. Go out there and engage your customers into menu development. That's a very big thing that you can do today.
And I think you can also leverage that social media, particularly the visual element. And this is also true within the restaurant, is that make sure whatever you are offering, you either have somebody hire a copywriter to really paint a picture with the words about what that is, because if you just say, it's a bean dish, that's not going to get anyone excited. You need someone who's going to be able to describe those flavors and really get the visual aspect of it going, because we tell everybody you eat with your eyes, and also paint that picture with them in words. And when you talk about those new menu items, post them on Twitter, post them with a photograph. Have your chef stand there and describe it, and do a quick YouTube video and throw it out there. I mean, this is where foodies are going to learn about things, and you need to be out there and on top of that as well. And if you are not interested in social media, again, you're going to have some trends that you're going to be way too late to the party.
These are great ideas. And also, something that's very different, chefs always influence, menu development, restaurants are a big driver of that, but also, recently, if you listen to our show, we have a lot of bloggers on here because they are becoming very big influencers. And if you try to call the Food Network tomorrow and ask for Bobby Flay, good luck getting him on the phone. But if you reach out to one of these bloggers on their social media, whether through email or through Twitter or something, and you maybe want to just have an hour with them, they're your local market, and you give them a nice gift card to your restaurant, they may be willing to come and work with you and then talk to you, because they are really having their ears to the ground and listening to lots of people, and they can influence the people, and they can help you having the right mix for the people to come to your restaurant.
I love that idea. So engage with those bloggers. Really super good ideas. And, if you are in the market, you're listening to our show, and you're thinking, I am ready to get in the business, and I want something where I can do some sort of experimental type menu. The perfect place to do it is in a sort of a tapas atmosphere where you do small plates, because you can literally have a different grouping of small plates that you put together. And we actually have a fabulous opportunity. It's a Mediterranean restaurant with a full tapas bar in Beaufort on the marketplace. It's less than $100,000, has a huge L-shaped kitchen, a big space, and they did about $400,000 in sales last year just in dinner. That listing can be found on our website at WeSellRestaurants.com, but great place to introduce new flavors and new trends.
Yeah, if you want some more influence, we have in Denver, we have a Peruvian cuisine restaurant that is very great, very interesting, and it's got a little authentic Peruvian bar as well built in place. It's in a very hot, trendy area. And, you got large hood, you've got, about 66 seats, you got great rent in Denver, downtown Denver, for $7,800 a month, all in, which is great. Listing $4,440 on We Sell Restaurants. That is a money maker, and you can buy this thing for $319,000.
People always ask me where they can find more information about our listings, because we barely touch the surface of what's out there. And, the answer to that, like everything, is check out our blog, where we often talk about like the top 10 listings for sale for the month before, or the top 10 listings in the marketplace right then. And obviously, WeSellRestaurants.com. That really is an industry resource where we give you lots of good information, hundreds of new listings, and you can subscribe and get our email blasts and stay on top of the very latest listings every single week. So again, visit us online at WeSellRestaurants.com. That's WESELL, restaurants with an S.com. This is Eric and Robin Gagnon, the Restaurant Brokers. We'll be back with you next week with more about the restaurant industry.